All right, welcome to another episode of Formula One Fanatics. Today we're going to be focusing on F1 news. The big news over the past couple of days that we're late is that George Russell has signed a 30 million pound deal with Mercedes, which makes him the third highest paid of all people. I guess they're releasing that information that it's 30 million so that he can say, "Look, I've now arrived. I'm on the same level as Verstappen and Hamilton. Look how much I'm getting paid." Second thing, they said they signed him to a multi-year deal. But here's the thing. They're not saying if it's a 1+1 or it's a 1+2. Let me ask you, Johnny, do you think if it had been a multi-year deal, like 3 or 4 years or 1+2, do you think they would have released the information? So what I'm trying to say is, do you think that because they're not releasing the information, it might be a 1+1 and they don't want to admit it because George Russell doesn't want to look embarrassed? That's what I'm trying to say. How do you interpret them not releasing how long his contract is?
First of all, the fact that he's getting paid the third highest
Yeah.
driver, that one I don't have problem with that because he hasn't won anything now. He hasn't done anything.
No.
All he has done is drive for Mercedes, which is one of the best cars. But he hasn't. So I don't think it's anything. Even for him, it's nothing for him to brag about because he has not done anything. And then yeah, why I don't know. Yeah. I agree with you on that point of not really, with the 1+ something because it's for him it looks embarrassing. But I don't think he shouldn't even be embarrassed because he still needs to prove himself. That's the embarrassing
Yeah.
part. That's
So
when he
this
should
is
feel embarrassed. He has
let
not
me tell
won
you
anything.
let me tell you who George Russell is like. It's like when you have, let's say when you're young, your uncles and your grandfather and the big boys who've done things are sitting at the table, and you're 12 years old, and you now come down to the table with them and start jumping into their conversation. They say they're talking about girlfriend. Daddy, what girlfriend are you talking about? They say, get back there. Who are you? You understand what I'm trying to say? George
Yeah.
Russell is very presumptuous. He
Hmm.
he's like, first of all, going back to what you say, he hasn't proven anything. Now, I will say this much: maybe because Mercedes doesn't know if they'll get Verstappen, they don't mind giving him 30 million because if it's just 1 year, then it won't hurt them, which is why I think it's a 1+1. Second of all, he said that a lot of people are saying that George Russell deserves a multi-year contract. Let me tell you something. In the world of business, in the world of politics, in the world of war, in the world of money and competition, nobody owes anybody anything. It's a free market. You understand what I'm saying? It's a free market.
Yeah.
Now, if George Russell drives for you and then you don't pay him afterwards, then you say George Russell deserves his salary. It doesn't mean you don't deserve a multi-year contract because you don't know what the calculations are of your boss. Your boss may say, okay, I don't care how much you win. I want Verstappen because he's more valuable than you. So there's no such thing as you've earned a multi-year contract. This is capitalism. What you do is
Yeah.
you earn your pay. That's it. So for him to say I've earned this and that, no, you don't deserve it. And second of all, he hasn't done anything yet. He's won some races. Yeah, he wins races when for some reason the Mercedes car is super fast. We saw Kimi Antonelli. You know what they say? If you want to know if it's the car or the driver, look who came second. Look at the second driver. Antonelli came fifth or sixth. George Russell came first. The car was fast on that weekend, and I give credit to George Russell. Other than Verstappen and maybe Hamilton and yeah, those two, Verstappen, Hamilton, and Alonso. If you give George Russell a faster car than everybody else, he'll win in it. Unlike
Yeah.
Piastri, unlike Piastri and North, so he's good. But nobody owes anybody anything, and we need to. This is the British thing. The British are moralistic. We need to stop this language of, "Oh, I've deserved more." That would be like me going to my boss and say, "Hey, I did well this year. I deserve 4-year contract." No, 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 no. What you deserve,
Yes.
you don't deserve anything because he can fire me tomorrow if the company goes bad. But what I would say is that rather than say deserve, say that it would be in your best interest to keep me multi-year. That's a better way to say it. But here's the question: is it in Mercedes' best interest to keep uh, Russell multi-year? I think that depends on whether Verstappen is available or not. If
Yeah,
what
I
do you
mean,
think?
you only give a multi-year contract to a driver if he has. I mean, you'll be interested in doing that if he has won at least. Okay, yes, he won the cup,
Yeah,
won the Grand Prix. Then you'll be like, okay, I would like him to do that again. So let me give him a multi-year contract. But Russell hasn't won it at all.
no,
He's
no,
not
no, no.
done it. You
And,
know.
and and to
So
me, now that you say that, you know what I believe happened? Okay, Russell, I'm going to give you a 1+1, and next year is your chance to prove to me that you can be multi-year. Win next year, then you will get multi-year. That's probably what this guy told him. You get my point,
Yeah,
and it makes
that
sense.
makes sense. Yeah.
1 + 1 and 30 million. So the 30 million will compensate you for the fact that we didn't give you multi-year. That absolutely makes sense. And the question, like I said, once again, the fact that they're keeping it a secret, because if they're giving him multi-year, he would come out. Yes, my boss has given me 4 years. You know what I'm saying? They're keeping it quiet, and this goes to show that Toto Wolff doesn't want. Toto Wolff is a businessman. He doesn't like losing. It's still paining him that Rosberg left. Because if he had known Rosberg was going to leave, he would have taken Verstappen. Did you get my point? So I think he
I
doesn't want
see.
to let go. He doesn't want to let go of Verstappen. But my thing is that what is most likely going to happen, I promise you, is that Kimi Antonelli will probably be the one to go in 2027, and Verstappen will come in with Russell. That's going to be the biggest show on earth. You get my point?
Yeah.
Especially if Russell wins next year, and then they get rid of Kimi Hamilton and bring in Verstappen in 2027. Because all of F1 will want that, because why they'll do it? They'll force Verstappen and Russell to be teammates. You know why? Because it will generate money for Sky, for F1 media. What do they call it? What's F1 run by now? Libya Media, Liberty Media. So my point is that they're going to rig it, because tell the truth, Mr. Johnny, would you miss any race if Verstappen and Russell were on the same team and they had to ride every weekend?
Yeah, everybody want to see that,
Everybody. So what I think that's what F1, because I think F1 is a circus. I think that's what they're leading to, having those two on the same team 2 years from now. Those guys would destroy Piastri and Norris, even if their car is 0.5 seconds slower than Norris and those guys. So I think that's what it is. But I think you're right. Russell hasn't earned his stripes yet. He's getting there. Last year he did pretty well. Last year he beat Lewis Hamilton 51% of the time. This year he's doing well. But next year will be his proving ground. What were you going to say? Yeah.
Verstappen ends, like, I think he earns 45 million a year.
48, 45, yeah. And I think Hamilton makes more, yeah. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And then he's won the Grand Prix, and 3 times. Russell hasn't won it at all, and then he's getting what? What's he getting? 30
million. Yeah.
30 million. That doesn't even sound even right.
I think what he can do is, the only way he can justify it is because I think Toto Wolff may have no choice, because he doesn't have anybody for next year. But you know what? He could have paid him 25. Let me tell you why. Because that's what you call chicken. Russell won't say, okay, since you don't want to pay me 30, I'm not going to drive next year. He will have no seat. You get my point. He could have paid Russell whatever he wanted to. He could have paid him 15 million.
Yeah.
But I think
and then make him.
I think that, and we don't know the details of the contract, because you have to remember, Mercedes is actually his agent too. So they get some of that 30 million back. They get 20% back. Do you see what I'm saying?
There you go. Maybe
they're his agent. And they probably made him do more obligations for advertising, so they'll get the money back. You get my point? Yeah. He probably has to do a lot of advertising.
Some kind of.
That's crazy, man. I didn't think we'd be able to bring out this much content on this, but it's a very interesting topic, though. All right, what are your last thoughts? We're about to head out, but tomorrow we'll be back for free practice. Yeah. What are your last thoughts?
Well, let's see if Russell is worth it. Then that's worth this 30 million. I still don't agree with 30 million. I think you need to give him little less so that he can get hungry and be hungry and work for it.
Because you saw what happened after they gave Checo contract. They gave Checo contract. That guy fucked up after his contract.
You see now, Victor enjoying himself too much.
Yeah, because Russell bought a yacht this year. I'm beginning to think maybe Russell is. I'm not dissing him, but maybe he's only driving fast because he knows there's a way of becoming rich and comfortable. Then once he becomes rich and comfortable, he'll be complacent. But we know that Verstappen. Don't you believe that Verstappen will give away all of his money to win races? He'll give away his money to win races. Same thing with Hamilton. So what I'm saying is that I've never seen Russell's a good driver, but it doesn't seem like he's angry when he loses. You understand what I'm saying? When Verstappen and Hamilton lose, they get angry. That shows that they care more. I'm not trying to bring Russell down, but I think Russell is more like a professional. He drives well, but I don't think he's driven like Senna or Schumacher. I don't think he's willing to take it to the level of death to win. You get my point?
He has not shown that kind of, like a diehard driver, like like you put them like the names that you just mentioned, Schumacher, Senna, all those people, like that really show that, like, whoa,
Yeah.
he has not impressed me at all yet. I'm not saying he's a bad driver. I just think he has not just
He's
impressed
better than Piastri, but wouldn't you agree that Piastri also has more desire than him? I think Piastri allowed McLaren to bully him, but you can tell that also Piastri wants to win at all costs. It's just that he was trying to be polite now, but I think now after what they did to him last week, the gloves are off. What are your
no
last thoughts?
more Mr. Nice Guy.
Fuck
That's
that
what
shit.
that's
No,
what's gonna be.
because
Yeah.
remember what I was telling you yesterday? Uh, the what's his name? Zach Brown and Lando Norris have business links from 7 years ago. No, that's rubbish.
Yeah.
All right, John,
Uh-uh.
I'll send you the info for the thumbnail. Other than that, see you on Sunday for
All
the
right, all right.
Thank you. Nice one. Let me press stop
Yo,
before I talk. I'm gonna press stop.
okay.
Okay.